Welcome back to our YouTube channel, ladies and gentlemen. President William Ruto's foreign trips have become a matter of concern to both Kenyans and experts because many financial experts are saying that those trips really gobble a lot of money, a lot of taxpayers' money with no return, with nothing to show for it. And I remember it became one of the major foundation when the Gen Zs went to the streets, and Gen Zs made it very clear that they want all these trips to be reduced, both locally and the foreign trips. Recently, the Auditor General and the Controller of Budget also complained that there's a lot of money going into these trips, that of President William Ruto, the Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, and Chief Minister Musalia Mudavadi. And when Jesus went to the streets, William Ruto succumbed, and he read a very long and elaborate plan to the austerity measures to ensure that he cut down spending and wastage. But when he thought that things had come back to normalcy, William Ruto is on top of vehicles running from one county to the other, traversing this nation with a lot of promises. And then he doubles it up with the foreign trips from one country to the other, and he defends it. Remember, when William Ruto went to the USA, it was found out that it was established that that trip had to cost taxpayers' money 200 million Kenya shillings. And then when these foreign countries look at us, this is why they still call us a mere dark continent or a third world country, because we have a government that is going to look for aid. Yet when you look at the budget alone, the budget can sustain, can even build a level 6 hospital. But they use this money to go for these trips. Now, before William Ruto jetted out of the country to that German trip, he announced to us that he was going to sign a deal that they had earlier discussed with the German government that would allow the Kenyan government to export over 200,000 labor capital. Take a look.
Rais wa Ujerumani alikuwa Kenya karibu miezi 3-4 iliyopita. Leo usiku mimi naenda Ujerumani kwa sababu alituahidi ya kwamba tutapata nafasi ya ajira watu 200,000. Lazima niende nipange hiyo kazi.
In fact, true to his words, while he was in Germany, William Ruto proudly reported that he had signed this deal, and Kenya would export 250,000 laborers. This news was even captured by the BBC itself. So it went global. Everyone read about it, and William Ruto was very proud that at long last he had secured this one. And he was very proud about it. But back in Germany, this news was never received well by even the locals, because they were wondering how could such an amount of labor capital be allowed to be imported into their country. And it brought a lot of serious debate. Now, William Ruto received this bad news when he jetted back into the country. When he landed, it is reported that Germany denies reports on labor deal to welcome 250,000 Kenyans. That is very serious because it's not happening for the first time. Let's just read further. It says that Germany's Federal Ministry of Interior and Community has refuted reports that the nation has inked labor deal with Kenya to welcome 250,000 workers in the European country. This is after a BBC report saying that the deal will offer employment opportunities for thousands of Kenyans. Rebuting the report, Germany's Interior Ministry clarified that the deal signed with Kenya does not specify, and I want us to listen to that, does not specify the number of workers set to travel, and there will be a rigorous process of selecting all applicants. So it's not just a blatant open that we will be exporting 250,000 laborers. Now, I just want to quote what they said, what the government of Germany said on their X handle. They said this information is clearly false. And I want you to listen to the choice of words. They have vehemently refuted with the choices of words that this information is clearly false. The agreement between Germany and Kenya does not include any numbers, so it is not 250, or quotas of skilled workers who will have the opportunity to work in Germany. All applicants must fulfill the strict requirements of the German Skilled Immigration Act. So let's just put something very clear here. Number one, yes, it is true that there was a deal that was signed. I think we give credit where it's due. But pegging this number to this agreement is false. And that is why they say this information is clearly false. And I wonder how the international media, including BBC, fell into this trap. They didn't do their due diligence, but that is what is said. Now, this is very shocking or humiliating to William Ruto because this is not the first time. I remember there was a time when William Ruto told us that he had signed a deal with Google and that they were going to absorb Kenyans to work for them. Barely after that announcement, Google announced that they were retrenching, they were downsizing their labor market. And this really, left, it was a slap in the face for William Ruto, who has been labeled as a liar. His honesty is always being questioned in whatever he says. He's a man who's got penchant of just promising things for the sake of promising. And it goes a long way. It adds into the basket of many lies that William Ruto has given us. I mean, when you sign a deal, it is good enough. Just say the deal that you've signed and the conditions. Don't, tell us that you've signed a deal of that would allow 250,000, yet it is not true. Number two, this was meant to try and justify Ruto's, foreign trip against the backdrop of a lot of complaints that has come even from the independent institutions that audit how taxpayers' money is being used. And instead of implementing the austerity measures, he was now quoting for us the number to justify that he went to Germany to sign a deal that would allow many Kenyans to work. And in fact, people are asking, why don't we create our own jobs in our country? Why does William Ruto feel that it is important to export labor market into other countries? Yet back at home, we are busy chasing investors with our exorbitant rules like the cost of production after we increased the levy on fuel and fuel products. Why can't we, create our own job market? I think it's very funny that we want to export labor market. I remember when Mwai Kibaki got to power, he appealed to Kenyans abroad with the skilled labor to come back to the country to help build our country. If you look at William Ruto, he's the direct opposite of Mwai Kibaki. He's busy destroying our country, yet he wants us to go to work abroad. The foundation that is supposed to prepare our workers is being mutilated. Look at the education system, it is rotten. Even the exam, the fees. So in the next 30 years, we will not even have the skilled labor to export. All we will have is maybe domestic workers. But even with domestic workers, we need to get people who are fairly learned. And so William Ruto is destroying our country. William Ruto is lying to us. And with this information that there was no such deal, or rather the deal was exaggerated, it humiliates Ruto. That German tour is rocked by, uncertainties, if you ask me, because there was unreported moments where he was also, people were heckling, Ruto must go, Ruto must go. These are the kind of things that make Kenyans vexed and they want him to go. They shout him because he takes people for granted. He feels that Kenyans are gullible, can be cheated all the times. But let me tell you, you can lie to people, you can lie to some people sometimes, but you can't lie to all the people all the times. I don't know what to think about the clarification from the German government.